Hey everyone, good morning. Tighten this microphone up here before it falls off. We have a lot of people here today. Nancy is visiting with us, Kat, Shelby. Wow, I should kind of scroll up to the very top here. Betty, Sandy. Let's do a run through. How are you guys all doing today? For those of you joining me for the first time, my name is Matt. Yep, and this is drawingtutorialsonline.com. So Sandy's here, Phoenix is here, Kat. Wow. Okay, cool. Carol, Michelle, welcome. And Betty, Nancy, Shelby, Aura. Aura, thanks for joining the live stream. That was really, really fun. I got to do more of that. I learned a lot. Anna, welcome. Anna, long time no see. So what is this, third time this week? All kinds of Melvin, Ash, Ileana, welcome, Bob. I can't read that. Philippe, I think. Dennis, welcome. All right, so posting anything. So let me get started here with this. What are we doing here today? Well, I'm going to make this live stream as short as I possibly can. I'm going to do a drawing. Like, again, it's Saturday. And I woke up and I have no idea what I was going to do for the live stream today. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just kind of go online. And there's a guy that I really love. He's a painter. His name is Bonet. And I'm like, let me do a Bonet painting. And then I just kind of came across this. This guy is one of Bonet's friends. And also Carlos Duran, who was John Singer Sargent's teacher. So yeah, I figured let's just do a quick tonal portrait because I was inspired this week. Thank you, Aura. I really do appreciate that. This week we were doing some, I was drawing with the model. So I had 3 live classes this week. 1 live class with the model for members of DTO, live class with the model for my advanced life drawing class at the School of Visual Arts, and then my Friday class at the School of Visual Arts. And what we were doing, or what I was doing, I was drawing a little bit more with the model on Zoom. And it would be nice if I can grab a pencil. So I started, reminding my students that when you do a gesture drawing, you don't always need to do it with line, okay? So this is our classic type of gesture drawing, very quickly, like a quick 1.5, 2 minute sketch, and it's really done with line, okay? But I'm like, listen, you don't always have to do it with line, and that's really what this live stream is all about, okay? Okay, yeah, I wasn't kidding with the soft edges. Hey, Marie, I wanted to do something different today. Nimisha, thank you so much. So this is a gesture with tone. Okay. And I think it's really valuable for you to do both. So it's really valuable for you to do a tonal gesture. It's really valuable for you to do a linear gesture drawing with the model. And it's also important to do a hybrid, kind of like where you're doing both. So I think this was like one of my most successful gestures. Just it got like a lot of emotion, a lot of movement, a lot of everything just in this little sketch. And I'm not outlining everything. I'm doing a little bit of my tone. So that was the inspiration for today's live stream was, this drawing here and this little drawing here. Now, if I show you what I'm working on for my own stuff, okay, bear with me. So you guys, I showed you this. My camera's really zoomed in. I showed you this one a couple weeks ago. So I kind of left that alone. And so we have more nudity alert, and not in terms of a photo, but in terms of a drawing. So you can see with this one, I wanted to share this one with you because you can see how I start with sometimes with line. And then we kind of migrate down to tone and down at the bottom. So I'm not done with this. I want to work on it a little bit more. It's kind of just a practice drawing. But, you can see that on the same piece of paper, on the same drawing, line and tone. And so with this one today, what am I working on? I'm just trying to get started here, and then I'll look at everybody's posts here. So Carmela, welcome. Yeah, Andre, welcome. So today I'm working on painted illustration board, and I'm working on a scrap board that I cut. And so this board is really skinny. It's really small. This is 6 inches wide, okay, and 5 3/4, something like that. And this is Strathmore illustration board. You can use any illustration board. My board today is 5.5 inches wide. It's just a scrap piece of board. Again, I woke up in the morning and I'm like, what am I going to do here today? So I wanted to try something different. So the materials are Strathmore illustration board. I'm going to use a Col-Erase pencil. I'm going to use a little bit of white charcoal pencil. I'm going to use a blender for pan pastel. Okay, I might use a blend-in stump. Oops, and there goes the blend-in stump on the floor. Let's grab another one. I might use this blend-in stump, which I don't normally use, but we'll try it. And my brushes. Okay, so I'm going to use these brushes. So we're going to have a potpourri of everything here today. Okay, so let's have some fun. Let's get started, and let me see if I've missed anybody here. Okay. Little Miss Random is visiting with us today. Beth, Ace, Michael from Germany, welcome. Tavga. All right, cool. And Sajad, boy, you're testing my pronunciation skills here today. So let's get started. Now, this board is pretty hard, okay? And I love it. I've done some of my favorite pieces of art. Now, okay, so starting. How do I, Frankie J, welcome, man. How do I like to start? So what I like to do sometimes for a little drawing like this to plan it out for the video, Jermaine, welcome. I like to just kind of draw the same size as the painting. Okay. Hi, Aurora. And so this is basically 2 7/8 by 4 5/8 roughly. And I think it's really good, Magana, thank you for joining us here today. I think it's really, really good for you to draw a frame sometimes, okay? Sometimes, like over here, I'm drawing with, I don't want to ruin this piece of paper. I got to be careful. One second. Over here, no frame. Just a study, okay? Nothing more, nothing less. These are gesture drawings, no frame, nothing more, nothing less. It's just warming up with the model. Now, this is a study of a painting, and I should say who did this painting. I just discovered him today. He has like 5 names, so we're going to shorten it, and his name is Henri-Theodore. I'm really bad with the pronunciation, but there's a link in the Show More part of this video. If you click below, show more, you'll go to a link, and that link will bring you to the National Gallery in the UK, to his page. He was really known for painting flowers, and like I said, I just discovered him today, and I thought it was really cool. So now, that's where I start. I like to do, hey Dana, welcome. Jose, welcome. I like to do my frame. Now, I give myself a target right here. So I got to be careful with this drawing because the goal today, I'm really sorry for the scratchy voice. 1 second. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. I guess it's called live, right? It's not a recorded video, it's live. So here we go, scratchy throat today. So I'm going to go soft. So I'm looking at negative space. I'm not pressing down hard on my pencil. This paper has a ton of tooth. I'm going down to the beard now. Okay, so now I stop at the beard and I look, and now I get his black coat. So maybe the beard can be a little bit lower. So look at my eyes. I'm just like looking up. I tried like rearranging my computer screen because I was like looking up like that, and it was killing my neck. Benedict Wendell Dantes, welcome. Great name. And so I make it so I want to look straight ahead. I don't want to be looking up. I don't want to be looking down. I don't want to be drawing down like this for hours. It's going to destroy your neck. You know, my son plays drums, and my wife was telling me yesterday he had a drum lesson with his instructor, and the instructor was working on my son's posture playing the drums because he has a friend who played the drums, a drum teacher that is, and he can't play anymore because he didn't pay attention to his posture all those years when he was younger playing the drums. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just very soft, and we're starting with angles. Okay, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Julio, welcome. And so now I'm going to come on down, get the back of the coat. And again, I think you would be at an advantage if you click on the link to the National Gallery to get the painting. Just drag it to your desktop. Okay, so you can see with more clarity what I am drawing, because this little thing that you see on the YouTube video, it's kind of small. Okay, so that's my block in. So what am I looking at when I'm doing this? Michelle Lecanto, I enjoyed last week's video. Thank you so much, Michelle. What am I doing here? I'm really looking at the distance from his eyebrow to the edge of my picture frame. Okay, I'm looking at the edge of his hair to the edge of this. So these are called targets, and I'm drawing his head with very soft edges, but with soft angles. So his hair over here in the back is going straight down. It angles that way. Okay, now that's fun. So we can do a little bit here in the background. Let's get this little, whatever it is. Maybe it's a door. Maybe it's a tapestry on the wall. Now we look at that little negative space. I don't want to go too crazy with that little negative space right now because I want to keep this very soft. There's a crooked picture frame on the wall up here. We don't have to put that in. We can kind of just suggest it just as like a measuring tool. So then I look from here to here, and maybe I'm a little too tall with his head. Betty, get your son a posture belt. They help. Okay. If he would listen to me and wear it, maybe I would get it. I'll ask him first because he's the most stubborn human being I've ever met in my life. He doesn't like to listen to me. I'm like, Luke, come on, man. I'm trying to help you here with your posture, because he's like with his iPhone 24 hours a day and his head's like that. So I hope he doesn't get problems. Posture belt. Which one are you talking about, Michelle? Last week's live stream on YouTube or the Zoom live stream for members of Drawing Tutorials Online? Okay, so we've got the block in. Okay, now I shouldn't really erase, but I want to erase. It's just a little paint on the illustration board. Yeah, so this illustration board, I'm sorry if I missed that question. It's white illustration board, 4-ply illustration board, and I just paint it with acrylic. You can paint it with acrylic any color you want. Yeah, is it just, okay. Yes, Marie, it's just acrylic paint. So I think this acrylic paint I mix like ivory black, burnt umber, and white. Okay, 3 colors. Okay, so Nancy, tell me, was that the Zoom class? Michelle, tell me, was that the Zoom class or last week on YouTube? Okay, now, next step would be shape a hair. So I've got to find the dull point of my pencil. I thought my pencil sharpener died this morning. The YouTube one. Okay, gotcha. I forgot what I did last week on the YouTube one. Oh my God, I can't even remember what the heck I did last week. All right, so now I'm drawing shape of hair, shape of face. The 3-value studies. Gotcha. Yeah, I looked at that, and I was going to do this today with a pen because I'm like, wow, that pen worked out really well. So now, okay, so let's backtrack with the steps. Zoom for you, Nancy. Okay, thank you. So next week, Nancy, in the Zoom class, I'm going to draw more with the model, a little bit more side by side. First step, draw the frame. Second step, look at negative space and just dive into it and take a big grand measurement from here to here. That's a big measurement from here to here. That's a big measurement from here to here. Get the outer edge. I'm a big fan of the outer edge. Draw the whole portrait. A lot of people who draw portraits, yes, thank you, Michelle, draw a floating head. They do not draw the actual body, the neck, in tandem with the head. So once we get that shape, then we go and we draw shape of hair, shape of face. Okay, so it's really soft. There's no edge, and we're looking at the ear. The ear is so important for portrait drawing. And so I'm going to make so where is the bottom of the ear in relationship to the collar? Okay, so I can drop the ear. So I'm kind of struggling a little bit with that. So when you struggle with an area, move on. Okay, so now I'm going to move on, and his forehead is tilted. And so now what I'm going to do is just draw soft with tone. And I want to block in the forehead, block in the eye socket. So today, Sorobai, thank you so much. Jean Philippe from Paris, welcome. Today, and I do think that this guy he wasn't from France, but he moved to France, and he was there when all the big guns were working. Yeah, Sargent, Bonnet, all those people. So you see what I'm doing here? Very soft. Look at the distance from that shadow shape to the edge. Very soft. And the hair definitely... so I'm trying not to work too much with line. So going back to the gesture stuff that I showed you at the beginning of the live stream. And I'm going to blend this in a moment. This is called blocking in tone. And really what I'm doing here is just scribbling. I put all that effort into the ear, and I just kind of scribbled right on top of it. So there's a cast shadow over here. There's a now this beard goes right into the dark coat. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Okay, so now the coat has 2 values, but I'm just going to block it in with 1 value. So right away, you know, there's no excuse not to practice, because you could do a practice drawing like this, you know, get inspired, find somebody online, an old master painting, and just draw it, okay? And don't worry about being perfect. And each one that you should do, you should kind of go into it with an intention. Just like the, okay, so that's pretty blocked in, and I'm going to blend it here in a second. Let's just get this value on the side of his nose. His nose needs to be moved over a little bit, but that's okay. So if we go back, this is just practice. This is a 2-minute figure gesture in tone. 2-minute figure gesture with line and tone. 2-minute figure gesture with line. Okay, minimal tone, using the opposite C's. So there's no excuse not to practice. You can practice anytime, any place. Now, I'm just going to have fun here. I don't really care. I'm going to use this tool. This is a tool for pan pastels. I don't really use pan pastels. I think they're cool. I just have so much expensive computer equipment and video cameras. I don't want pastel dust kind of flying all over the place. So now I'm going to take this thing that I've kind of worn out, let the camera focus on it a little bit, and I'm just going to blend. Okay, and I'm going to get a nice soft layer. And what we're doing is we're killing, this is not white paper, it's painted board, but my mantra is we're going to kill the white paper. We want to get rid of white paper, and we want to make a solid value. Okay, so we're going underneath the nose. We're going to that eye socket shape. We're going to tilt that forehead back. The whole forehead is in shadow. Okay, now we're going to go to that eye socket. So we're drawing a little bit here like a painter, and I'm not worried so much about staying in the lines. I could, you know, come back later and chisel with my kneaded eraser. So this is very much painting. Okay, so let's just get that, whatever it is in the background. Definitely go to the link in the show more part of this live stream so you can download the image of this painting from the National Gallery in London. Okay, so there's my first go through with the tone. Now, the background is fairly light, but I'm going to take now the residual that I have on this, and I just want to put some residual in my background. I want to really soften that edge. Really soften that edge. With a blend-in stump, have the same effect. I don't know. Let's see. Let me grab the blend-in stump. Okay, so let me grab the blend-in stump that I dropped on the floor. 1 second. So this one already has some Col-Erase on it. Mecca Art enjoying the stream. Thank you so much. So this, you hear it? This is just a little bit more aggressive. I don't like it as much. I would use this in a small area, okay? Not in a big area. But yeah, this is doable. So these tools do all the same thing. I'm just not a blend-in stump fan. I use it very, very sparingly. Yes, Zorn, Singer Sargent, Soroya, they're all my favorites. Okay, good morning, even if it's afternoon here. Welcome, Brian. Okay, now I could also use this, which is my go-to. So is there anything on here? No. So I always test it first in case I had white charcoal on here. I could always use this, and I love this too. Okay, and this has a different feeling. So I know this looks like one big hot mess right now, but we're going to push it. We're going to work it a little bit. And I'm just trying to get as much of this down on the paper as I possibly can. So now, what did we talk about last week? Ethan, welcome. Tristan from the Philippines. Cool. Values. So right now, what values do we have? This is a really cool tool. I'm going to say we have a lot of middle tone. A lot of number 4, which is a middle tone. Okay, so now what we can do is we can just start to add some darks. I'm going to save the lights because some of the lights might be the board. Okay, where's the pencil I was using here? Let's just use this one. Do you ever use, okay, do you ever use the backhand grip of the pencil like artists here on YouTube? So you mean this way? Not really. Sometimes when my hand is shaky, I like to hold my pencil like I'm writing a letter. Sometimes if I hold my pencil like this, okay, people who hold their pencil like this, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with holding your pencil anyway. I just like to hold my pencil like this right now in my art career. But I've switched, and when I didn't have control of my hand, I used to hold it like that. Truffles is good. She's sleeping on the sofa on my chair right over there. We'll get her later. She'll chime in. So now I'm going to push some value. So let's go to the low-hanging fruit. And the low-hanging fruit is the shadow on the coat here. So remember, the goal here today is softness. Okay, so that needs to be closer to the edge. It is raining here on Eastern Long Island, so it is dark in my studio. So this is fairly dark. Look at the distance from the edge of the collar. Now, let me just scroll. So I'm going to just look for some shadow shapes. I'm going to make the coat generally darker, so I'm trying to match the value. So it just takes a little bit more time with this pencil. And I'm going as fast as I possibly can here. Let's do an up and down pencil stroke because that coat is darker than a lot of other things. I am on Long Island in New York, Eastern Long Island. So 20 minutes from Southampton, 10 minutes from West Hampton, 10 minutes from Riverhead. Okay, so we've got that. Now, Ellie, welcome. Appreciate that. Okay, so, and I'm in my little studio here in my home. So now let's get the back of his hair. Now, when I look at the back of his hair, where is that in relationship to the bottom of the sketch? We're really close. It could be a little higher, but let's just kind of go for it. So there's this. Now let's go back and establish the edge of the hair, which is very, very soft. And let's say that's his ear. Pressing down hard. Let's go up with the hair. So when I use that tool from the pan pastels, it's going to take some of this pencil off. So let's come over here. Now let's go to this side of his hair. It's raining for about 2 weeks in Portugal. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the shape of the island. So let's do a little bit of tone over here. And let's come on down to the eyebrow. This is not that dark. I got to be careful. I'm just trying to refine it. Just trying to put a little bit more pencil on the paper. His hair, he's got some head of hair, my God. And let's just kind of situate his eye, which is extremely soft. Eyebrow. Look at the shape of his forehead. Yeah, this is a colored pencil. Thank you, Betty. Appreciate that. So very soft eyebrow. Very, very, very soft eyebrow. Very soft eye. No line. No line, just tone. Let's get the bottom of his nose. Now, I see that his tip of his nose is closer to the edge of the face. So I got to move that to the left slightly. So then there's that cast shadow under his nose with a guy. I'm cool with making that a little bit darker. A little center of the lips over here underneath the mustache. So just this is a soft impression, almost like an impressionistic painting. Georgie Salvov. Hello from Bulgaria. Artist living in Glasgow, Scotland. It rains here all the time. Love it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you joining us. Thank you, Sorobai. Okay, so let's keep going here. So let me just push, and we've got his little suggestion of his eye over here, suggestion of the eyebrow, and let's add a little bit more solid tone under the eyebrow. Now, when we're going to go next with the blend-in, I'll use the blend-in stump. So we'll mix up the tools. Yeah, it's self-made toned paper, so it's illustration board that I painted. And I've been using this illustration board since 1989. Honestly, the same brand board I've been using since 1989. So it's a board that I'm very familiar with. And I have paintings that I've done on this board, oil paintings. I would gesso it, and they look the same as they did 30 years ago. In 89, more than that almost, and it's really high quality paper. Okay, so now maybe what we're gonna do is drop this piece of hair, and let's add a little bit up top over here. Now let's blend with the stump. Actually, just a little bit. Let's do the brow. So don't love the results. This is too big and clunky for me. But let's just have fun. Okay, so we're just having fun today. Not worried about being perfect with anything. My goal is always likeness. I'm always going for a likeness. So if I don't get the likeness, I'd probably be pissed at myself. But that's the goal for me always. Some people don't care about likeness. I really do. It's something that I've always prided myself on, being able to draw a likeness. Now, let's talk about, let me just, oh, wow, there's a lot of things coming in here. So listen, I have tons. I'm not a big social media person. I would say I have social media. I have my Instagram. It's all in the Show More part of this video. If you click on Show More down below, you'll have a link to my Instagram page. I hate Facebook. I've been on Facebook for many years. I hate going on Facebook. It's not for me. I like Instagram. I like YouTube. So I'm trying to simplify my life with social media because it could be a little bit sometimes a cesspool of humanity. So I'm being negative. I'm sorry. And, I'm just so distracted, and I'm online all the time teaching classes. And when I'm not teaching classes and making videos for my drawing website, I don't want to be going to Facebook and being online constantly. I need to, it's my goal 2021 to draw more and to not be on the computer so much. I'm on the computer constantly, and it's destroying my eyes. If I'm not on my computer doing work, working for the college with my classes on Zoom, I scroll. I'm like every other human being. I watch YouTube videos. I scroll on Instagram. It's destroying my eyes. And my goal for 2021 is to put my iPad down and draw more. Okay. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love social media. I'm not being an idiot, and I'm not trying to bash it and think I'm like higher and mighty than thou. I go on social media every single day. It's just I'm trying to limit it, and I'm trying not to use multiple social media sites, and I'm trying to put my toe in the sand and say, this is what I'm going to use. I'm not going to use 14 million. So kneaded eraser. I'm not going to use 14 million platforms. And it's just going to be all one big distraction. All right, now we got to get his nose. Yeah, then destroy the computer. Yeah, I can't do that, or else I won't be able to pay my bills. Need the computer for that. It's just how much is enough when going online. That's the question. All right, so let's move that nose over. Okay, and that's pretty middle tone right there. Let's get above the brow. And I made his hair too low. We'll fix that. Let's go over here. There's a little tone on the neck, under the ear. Let's get the collar, which we're going to do with white charcoal, but let's just pull out the light. Okay, now he needs to be taller. Let's see, where's that pencil? Oh, let me just look at some of these. Have you been to any art site platforms like ArtStation, DeviantArt? Yeah, I go there for when I teach classes to look at different artists. I don't know Holsoy, Hammershaw. I kind of know, but I'm going on a little mental blank right now. Yeah, once a week on Facebook. That's my goal as well. So now, I got the other dog scratching at my door, but we're not going to let Bubba in. Okay, so let's just raise that up because he's taller, and we just changed his whole look by making him shorter. And his hair comes down over here much more, really dark over here. So I told you we were going to be soft today. And let's come on down. This is much darker over here. And let's lower the beard to make him appear longer. Not too much lower, just a little bit. And let's see here. Mouth, beard. Let me sharpen this 1 second. I tried doing those using the tip on the eraser. It's not practical. What works is okay. All right, Frankie J, take it easy. What is that? So I'm drawing at a 45-degree angle. The fundamentals are values. Always drawing from something that has light and shadow. To me, that's the fundamentals. So many people that I see who join my website, drawingtutorialsonline.com, and I do a critique of their artwork. I just feel so bad for them because they've been drawing for years from really crap photo reference. Like they go on Google and they type in portrait, they get a portrait of like a pop star or something like that, and they draw these from these photos that have no light and shade. Most of them are even photo retouched in Photoshop. All the details are taken away. They're drawing from a photo that has no light and shade. It's so hard to draw from these photos, and that, to me, is a fundamental. Don't draw from bad photo reference. Now, there's 3 different ways to draw. Drawing from life, drawing out of your imagination, and drawing from photos. So in this COVID disaster, drawing from life is hard because there's no life drawing classes. So we're drawing from our imagination and we're drawing from photos. It's practical. Can you draw from life at home? Of course. You get one of your family members to pose for you. But the best way is I just like drawing from a professional model in the classroom. Let's kick this brow over. So we're calling Zoom classes drawing from life right now. But yeah, it's different. You're still you're really working from a photo because that's what the video is. It's a 2-dimensional thing. All right, let's go under the nose. I wish that I could make my own animated film, but I am not ready because I have to practice the backgrounds. So yeah, you could practice that. It's just study land. So I had 3 classes, 3 weeks in a row for my animation students. And it was to help them with their animation thesis films. And so we took 1 week and we talked about how to draw cityscapes. We took 1 class, 1 week, and we talked about how to draw landscapes for their backgrounds. And we took 1 week and we talked about how to draw interior spaces for their backgrounds. And, all of those are really important. So I think I'm going to start to inject a little bit of white charcoal just for fun. I don't think the drawing is there yet in terms of it being him. I think this hair comes down lower. I'm just trying to strike some line, soft line. I didn't say the word line. That's not what today's class is about. I'm just trying to, I feel I don't have his likeness. He's got some really funky hair. Awesome. Hey, Jill, welcome. We're just doing a very soft tonal sketch today using a whole bunch of different tools. Going to go darker here and darker with the mustache under the nose. Angle this up. Now, let me just erase out a little bit here. My name 101. Okay, so I have some students who, especially the coaching students, who don't believe in lines. They don't want to draw with lines, and I respect that. You know, it's they like to draw tone next to tone. So this is tone next to tone, and this is how I would go about doing it. It's a little bit of a slower process. Now let's just have some fun, because I can sit here forever and I can continue to make this more and more resolved. I'm going to move that. I'm going to throw in just a little bit of white charcoal, and we're going to blend it. So I'm using very cheap General's charcoal white. Morro Bay. Where's Morro Bay, Barbara? The likeness, you just repetition is the mother of skill. So one of my friends in college, he just had a sketchbook, and on every page you draw like 30 heads. So it's just a lot of repetition. So let's paint now. Let's put in some tone. I'm not pressing down hard at all. I'm just pretending like I'm using a paintbrush. I want to make this lighter. Yeah, there, California. Wow, okay, beautiful. Okay, so we're just going to put in a little bit of tone. Again, we're trying to look at the negative space. There are some teachers at the School of Visual Arts who hate negative space, but when you use it in context, it works. At least for me, it does. I've been using negative space since 5th grade, so I love negative space. Negative space is the abstract shape around the portrait or the figure or the still life. Okay, so just a reminder, you can go find the enlarged version of this painting over in the show more part of this video right below. Let's just have some fun with this. Let's put in this collar. A little bit of light on the nose. A little bit is the key word. There's a highlight on the surface plane shift. And a little bit here. And on the cheekbone area. Oh, God, I just pressed down too hard. I went a little too much pressure there. We'll blend it away. Let's bring this down. Comments are coming in really. Istanbul, welcome. I have other brands of charcoal pencils. You know, I have all the expensive. Well, here's another pastel chalk one. It's General's. What I like about General's is they sell these pencils everywhere. So I don't like when you buy. This is just me. Many people will disagree with me. What's up, man? What's up? I don't like when the art material is so sophisticated that you can't find it anywhere. I like to use art materials that you can go to any art supply store in the United States and just find the same art supply in California or in New York or in Missouri or in Texas or in Florida. That's what and plus I don't use a lot of different materials, so this works for me. It's cheap stuff. It's not really expensive material. So now we have that. Now what we need to do is we need to blend it. So I'm taking a brush. This is different. Look at the brush and how it has white on the end of it. Look at this brush and how it has dark on the end of it. So I have different brushes for different materials. I haven't used that. In all fairness, President-elect Pluck Boy, um, I just I woke up this morning and I had, so that's already too light. I woke up this morning and I had no idea what I was going to do for this live stream. And I had an idea that I want to draw a Bonnet painting because Bonnet is a really good painter. And I haven't really drawn any of his paintings. And then I looked for a Bonnet and I'm like, okay, I'm just doing the live stream today for an hour. It's a little too detailed for me. And then all of a sudden this image popped up and this just inspired me. So I didn't put a lot of planning in today's class. This is just like a little bit today off the cuff. So let's do that. Now his face is way too light. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush. You can just wash these with soap and water. It's just pencil. And I'm going to get rid of that. I'm blending the pencil. It's just too light. Way too light. Shouldn't have done that. Too much white charcoal. Now, this is so much darker in real life. For some reason, my video camera, because it's dark in here today, is making this look so much lighter on YouTube. That stinks. How can I make this look more like it? If I put white here. Nope. If I take, I just got to deal with it. I hate when things are not represented the way that they should be. Okay, it is what it is. So that cheekbone is just way too light. Now, I'm going to be really aggressive. And so when you look at this in my studio, let's see. I'm going to, at risk of screwing things up, let me just take this up. Nope. Okay. Let's try it this way. Hold on now. Hold on. Almost there. Almost there. I just want to untape this board and see what happens when I tilt it. Nope. The exposure is just the same. It's way too dark in here. Okay. I'm just going to have to suck it up and deal with it. Now, let's take this. And yeah, the nose and lips. I mean, today is just about having fun here with this, and I won't get into the details of how to draw facial features, but facial features are just shapes. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier. You have to work from good photo reference that has good light and shade. Maybe you're having a hard time drawing noses and eyes because you're working from bad photo reference. That could be it. You know, a lot of people don't think of that. You have to, you know, are you going to run a race with high heels or with sneakers? So some people will torture themselves and just work from really bad photo reference because maybe they like the pop star, or maybe they like the person that they're drawing, or maybe the photo is like really cool, but it may not be the best photo for you to use. Maybe that's the reason why you're struggling. Okay, so now I'm going to get a different brush, and I want to, I'm happy with the value here at home. I'm not happy with the value on the video, so I'm just going to knock down the white. Making it very soft. Okay, let me just look at some comments here. How often do your pencils last in your drawing as it being sharpened? I guess this pencil would last like a drawing and a half. It depends on the time of the drawing. If it's like a 2-day drawing or a 20-minute drawing. Awesome, Chris. Okay, so now let's just go through it one more time. One more time. And let's start here. Here. I'm going to do some erasing. So I'm trying to use all the tools for you here today. So this would be for an oil painter pulling out some lights, also trying to make a different texture. We can get the beard just a little bit with some texture. And his coat, come on down. And over here, a little bit over here. I just heard this weird noise. And I'm like, whoa, it was like a house noise, a creaking. That was a little scary. Okay, so let's keep going with this. I don't want an edge on the top. We can do some different textures with this, or at least try to. I know there's some streaming coming in, some comments. I'll look in a moment. I'm just trying to go back to the likeness thing over here, that tip of the nose above. That eyebrow needs to be raised. This cheekbone goes right into the eye here. Now, let's take our big brush and get rid of some of these. Let me look at some comments. So this is an eraser. Mono Zero, thanks to Dana turning me on to it. I usually over-listen to music. So for years it was Radiohead, then, what I grew up with, rock from the 70s. And lately I'm listening to the 80s on Sirius XM. And then I'll get sick of that. And I was listening to Lana Del Rey, and I listened to her 2 albums for about every single day, 5 times a day. So I ruined that for myself. So I'm all over the place musically, what I like to listen to. Now, let's... Hold on now. Oops. Tilt that hair. Look at the distance from the hair to the edge. No edge on the top. Let's get an edge over here. A little bit more of an edge to the back of his hair. Just light pressure with this. There's no texture on that, but just having fun. And let me look at some comments. Doesn't Lana make you depressed? No, she's not. That's what my wife said. I went to the School of Visual Arts where I teach now. Went there from, I'm going to age myself, 1986 to 1990. Went there for illustration and graduated and thankfully became an illustrator. Yeah, I listen to podcasts sometimes. I used to listen to them more than now. Yeah, I'm sorry, Maria, I missed your question. Sketchbooks aren't happening right now because there's no school. There's school, but it's on Zoom. And there's something very, very different that happens when we're in the classroom. It's like a friendly competition because when we're in the classroom, after lunch, I look at everyone's homework, and everyone does their homework in their sketchbooks. And we all lay the sketchbooks down on these big tables. And it becomes a little competitive, no doubt. It becomes a little competitive. And we don't have that like on Zoom. Like there's no class camaraderie. And that's what's really missing. I mean, Zoom is great and, it's better than nothing. But yeah, it's just, Yeah, they're very bright on my monitor. This is so dark right now. On YouTube this is so light. Um, I just want to try this one more time here. I'm gonna screw everything up. Nope, nothing's working. One second. I am sketching on illustration board. Hello, sir. This brings back lovely memories of one of your early digital students from Rainwalker. Yeah, I remember that. I remember you. You're really, he's really talented. Yeah, we're having a Zoom class on DTO. This is a life drawing class with the model. So Sarah is going to be our model again on Zoom, and we're going live at 3 o'clock on Tuesday for members of DTO. Looking forward to it. I'm going to do some more drawing for everybody. We're going to do gesture drawing again, and because I feel like that was our first class together, and I needed to draw more, and I didn't draw as much as I should have on that Zoom class. So I'll be definitely doing some more drawing for you guys. And I already have another model lined up for the week of like Christmas, New Year's. She's good to go, but we're going to work with Sarah for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, competition is really good. Thank you, Sun Lee. The values are not right um, on my monitor, which is frustrating me, but I got to get over it. Yeah, Tuesday's going to be fun, no doubt. So I'm going to just kind of darken this a little bit, add some texture. You know, I'm in the weeds right now. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm going to... yeah, that doesn't look bad. Let's go darker. Yeah, every class, every live class is going to be posted on the website. The first one's already on there. I get what you're saying. Just going darker. Very frustrated with the video quality here today. Okay, so let me... see, I'm holding my pencil differently now because I'm trying... look at my hand. It's like pure white. And that's the exposure. I tried something different. Like I have like a lot of black around my drawing because my drawing right now is on a Wacom Cintiq. I'm using a Wacom Cintiq with the ergo stand for my drawing table. And so, yeah, it's surrounded. I'm using a black background for my monitor. So what you see here is the Cintiq on the right. Okay. And I do so much video critique, and I can't have multiple spaces where I film, so I kind of kill two birds with one stone with using the Wacom Cintiq screen for my drawing table. Let's get a little bit more of that earlobe. I'm just trying to be sketchy right now. Thank you, Dana. Wow, that sounds cool. You know, my son made fun of me. He just like laughed at me because I just last week I hooked my iPad up, connected it, I should say, let me use the right terminology, to my television set, 55-inch, same thing, and I connected YouTube to it, and yeah, I feel like, and my son comes in and he started laughing at me. He's like, Matt, he's like, Dad, you could have done that like 5 years ago. It's really no big deal anymore. So I like watching on my iPad, but I gotta admit I'm trying to save my eyes. Boy, Truffs is really snoring. My God. We're going to get Truffs over here in a second. How long has this live stream been? 55. Okay. It's okay. Don't love it, but it's okay. This is way too dark. Let me use the kneaded eraser. So I'm going to take the kneaded eraser and I'm going to pinch it so it's skinny. And then I'm going to drag just to lighten a little bit with light pressure. And I don't care about all of the different marks because I want it painterly. Just dragging it. I'm going to post this drawing today after the live stream over on my blog. So you'll get a better representation of what the the drawing looks like. Because right now, it's really dark. It's so dark in real life. So let's just put in some little detail here. I don't want to go too light with this. So if we go too light, we're going to destroy the coat. So let me just pull out a little bit, and then I'm going to go over it with a brush and darken it. So we're going to work a little bit with layers. Okay, let me look at some comments. Looks great. Thank you, Michelle. I just know a little English. Naomi Valera Gonzalez says Flores. Now that's a name. Yeah, welcome, Shelby. Zarina, you can just click on the show more in the section of this video, and it'll bring you to the website, and then you can just look at the prices there. I don't want to talk about prices here on the live stream. I think that would be kind of too salesman-ish-y. I don't want to do that. Okay. Now, I listen to live streams and people, man, they push their stuff. And I'm like, dude, stop with being a salesman. If we like you, we'll buy your stuff. Okay, just let's lighten that a little bit. Doesn't look good on the video, but I like the way that it looks in my studio. So I'm just going to go a little darker here. And Marlo Cordoza, hello. So I stream every Saturday. At least I try. This morning, I didn't know if I was going to do this. Again, like I woke up and I'm like, what in God's name am I going to draw today? So I try to do this every Saturday on YouTube. And then for my members of drawingtutorialsonline.com, I am doing a live class on Zoom with a model every Tuesday moving forward. And that's a lot of fun. It's a little different than this because I plan on treating that more like a formal class with a model. This is just, I consider this on YouTube just hanging out and chatting and answering questions. No, the old painting tutorials online does not exist anymore, but all of the videos are in the members of Drawing Tutorials Online. So, and I have a new painting tutorial there as well, an oil painting tutorial. So all those videos are still on the website. It's just on drawingtutorialsonline.com. So again, sometimes you just have to simplify your life, and my life is just getting a little too complicated. So I did away with that website and just combined websites. You go to members. Click on the link in the show more. There's a contact page. A lot of the messages that I get from my own website go to my spam folder. So I'm going to just give me a little time to answer, but just read a little bit of what the site offers you. Like I have a lot of information there. Most of your questions could even be answered on the homepage when you go there. If you click on the link in the FAQ, I have a ton of information. Forehead. Next time when you don't know what to do, can you always draw troughs? All right. So at this point, it's just this little sketch is done. It was just a fun little thing to do here today. I hope you enjoyed it. That eyebrow's tilted up way too much. This is going to be a very, very frustrating answer, but my answer is everything matters. But you can't study everything all at once. You have to isolate things, okay? Yeah, you have to isolate things. Everything counts. But when a teacher says that, yeah, he does have a good head of hair. When a teacher says everything counts, you're like, okay, that doesn't help me. I can't study everything. But, you just, get a good teacher, follow along with their course. All teachers on YouTube basically teach the same thing with different language. So one class, a teacher might talk about form. One class, a teacher might talk about light and shade. One class, a teacher might talk about modeling. All that stuff is good. And I do have an order to it. I have an order to, how to learn how to draw portraits. I have an order to what you learn first, second, and third when you're learning how to draw the figure. I have all of that. It's just, it's way too time consuming to talk about all of that in a short period of time here on YouTube. What would be the best to start with? The best to start with is get yourself a sketchbook and start to draw each day in it for a minimum of 10 minutes out of your imagination. That's the best to start with. Okay, so you start to train your hand to do what your brain wants it to do. That's the best practice. I know you're looking for an answer, so I'll give you an answer. Just draw things in your space and draw negative space. So I have my video camera, my monitor, and another monitor. I would practice drawing the negative space in between these items. That's where I would start. All right. I'm going to do one or two more things, and then we're going to call this one done. So I think this eye socket needs to be a little bit lower. Again, check out the information in the show more part of this video. You're going to have a nice link to where this painting is originally at the National Gallery in the UK. I would just get a sketchbook. For me, is something that you can carry around with you. So don't get anything big and bulky. Like just get 8 by 10, 8.5 by 11 is great. Some people swear by the smaller moleskins. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I have there's structure on my website, YouTube, it for everything. People that I follow, they give you little snippets. That's the nature of YouTube. Let's face it, YouTube is really a big sales machine for people who post videos up. They give you like little snippets of things, and they say, "Okay, you want the whole thing? Go buy my product." That's YouTube. That's most of social media who were for people who are doing this sort of thing. So I try to offer you as much value as I can, but I'm not going to lie to you. The structure is within a course. So the best way to learn is get a teacher, take their class. Hopefully the teacher will teach you in an organized, structured way, and they're not going to try to teach you everything all at once, and get feedback from the teacher. That's really how you're going to learn. My mama always told me never talk about money. Michelle Lecanto, thank you, Matt, as always. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this. I think this sucker is done. Like I said, it's not really represented great here on YouTube. The value structure is not all that, but I like the way that it looks in real life, and usually I don't like the way things look when I do them, so the values do look a little bit more representational. I should go get troughs. I appreciate that, Danny. Let's go get Truffs. I think she's ready to work. Truffs is. Hold on. Truffs, what do you say? You want to draw a little bit? You want to try the blender today, Trust? Let's get you trying something different. Again, you've got your tongue sticking out. Come on. All right. Yeah, we can take a little of your saliva and blend with the saliva here. Okay. All right, cool. So let's draw, Truffs. Let's draw. Okay, are you in the video? Yeah, there you are. Let's do a little blending over here. Let's do a little blending over here. Let's tap. Let's get a little bit. Let's do the eyes. Tap those eyes. We want them a little bit softer. And I think his beard needs to be. Truffs, are you paying attention? Truffs? Huh? You're not interested today? You're not feeling it? No good? Let's just do a little bit more. I think his beard needs to be lower. Can you help me with that, Truffs? A little lower with the beard. Okay, so, yeah, Truffs, thank you so much. You want a new chew toy, Truffs? What do you say, no? Okay. All right, everyone, thank you so much for visiting with me today. We're at about an hour. If you want to see a little and learn a little bit more about me, just check out the show more underneath the video. Nancy, thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully I'm not talking about the same thing over and over. Nancy, if you need me to talk about something specific, just let me know. Send me an email. Dylan, thank you. Sorobai, thank you so much. Aurora, thank you so much. Namisha, I appreciate you joining. All kinds of Melvin. She's not feeling it today. Sandra Firk. Yeah, so Truffs is a girl. She's all girl. Danny Chen, appreciate you, man. Ace, thank you. I'll see you if it's not too early in the morning, Ace, the live stream on Tuesday. Marie, see you Tuesday. I'm going to post this on my blog later today, maybe even on my Instagram. I don't know. We'll see. Sun Lee, thank you. Georgie, thank you. Dennis, Aurora, Magdalena, my favorite name. How are you, Magdalena? Look at that last name. How do you say your last name? Can you tell me over the stream? C. Morsha, welcome and thank you. Sandra, Ari. All right, cool. Kat, I appreciate. Kat, I apologize for the bad link. I don't know what happened with the Zoom link, but if the link doesn't work, I usually send one like 5 minutes after. So just check your email next time. Phoenix, I appreciate it. Dana, thank you. Truffs is okay. She's not feeling it today. Neil, I appreciate you. Zorn. Next live stream, we'll do something on Zorn. Maybe the line, his etchings. Marlo, appreciate you. Naomi. Naomi, you have some name, Naomi. See ya, Kat. Ari, Dylan. See you guys. Chris. See you next week. Thanks for visiting. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to the channel so you get notified when I post again. See you guys later.